Here's Dan Hafley.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spurvek's first visit to the Thousand Oaks Library. Today our guest is a man who has been involved in writing, directing, but would you welcome officially Jack Johnstone?
Jimmy Stewart with a welcome to the Hollywood Star Playhouse, brought to you by the Bakers of America.
Hollywood Star Playhouse. 30 minutes of mystery, thrills, drama by Hollywood's finest writers featuring Hollywood's top stars. Brought to you by the Bakers of America through the cooperation of your baker. Hello there, this is Wendell Niles.
Back in 1952, Jack Johnstone was directing the Hollywood Star Playhouse, an NBC anthology series airing on Sunday evenings.
Perhaps because of the people involved, the six-shooter with Jimmy Stewart was a real gratifying show to do. We did one episode on Hollywood Star Playhouse. Frank Burt wrote the script. Jimmy Stewart fit the part perfectly, and we simply did it as one number on this series.
On April 13th, the show premiered a Western play starring Jimmy Stewart as Brit Ponsett. It was called The Six-Shooter.
The rain had stopped, but the wind still carried slivers of moisture that cut into the boy's face as he rode along the edge of the creek. When he saw the yellow light from the back of the office, he pulled up and slid out of the saddle. Then he tied a wet bandana under his eyes and walked to the door.
All right, hi. Way up, both of you. And stay away from that shotgun.
Now, look here,
You,
fella,
get over to the safe. Better hurry it up, mister. All right, now open it. I said to open it. All right, toss me that sack. Okay. Thanks a lot. I'm seeing you. Now. You rotten little...
Then it was decided, later, to do a series based on the same character. That's really all there was to it. I directed the Hollywood Star Playhouse, so of course I directed the series then later. And Jim was a wonderful person to work with.
I had figured on going through Clay City. It was an hour out of my way, and I was already a day late to the Jefferson Ranch where I'd signed on for the roundup. But when Scar started limping from a loose shoe, didn't have no choice. We had to head for the nearest blacksmith shop, so we turned north.
Howdy, mister. What's the trouble?
The horse losing a shoe.
Well, let's have a look. All right, raise it up, fella. Come on, boy. It's split, mister. He needs a new one. Okay, boy.
Can you take care of it?
Oh, sure. Bring him over here.
Hey, what happened to Red? Fella used to own this shop.
Went to Nevada chasing silver. I bought him out.
Oh,
Stewart had wanted to do a radio show for years. In Brit Ponsett, he found the character and director perfect for him. NBC brought the series to air coast to coast on Sunday, September 20th, 1953 at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
You a betting man, mister?
well, sometimes.
Well, I say I weigh over 100.
The first episodes were sponsored by Coleman Heaters, but by October 18th, NBC was sustaining production.
The show was offered for sponsorship. There were some things that Jim would not accept, however. Chesterfield begged and begged and begged for months trying to get sponsorship. They even suggested tailoring their commercials in different than usual style. But Jim didn't feel that because of his screen image that it would be fair to, and this in all modesty, for him to be sponsored by a cigarette. I've forgotten there was another advertiser wanted very much to sponsor the show. But again, Jim and also MCA, which owned the show, said no.
Ever since I bought the shop, there ain't been a stranger come through Clay City but what he paid double for his first horseshoe. You ain't sore, mister?
No.
The six-shooter remained on the air. NBC moved the show back 90 minutes to 8 p.m. in search of a larger audience. Liggett & Myers Tobacco wound up sponsoring Gunsmoke instead.
Fella they call the six-shooter? Well, doggone it. I've heard about you, mister. I've sure heard about you. Oh, would have recognized you if I'd have noticed your gun.
NBC shifted the show to Thursdays after Christmas. It limped into the spring of 1954 before being canceled in June.
I directed in the studio, wearing a pair of earphones with heavy muffs on them so that I couldn't hear any sounds directly. I'm thoroughly convinced it was the only way to direct a radio program for several reasons. It gave you much better control over the whole show. If the show began to run a little slowly, a guy could stand in the control room and wave his arms frantically until some actor looked up, or maybe all of them, then they all sped up, and then the next signal was, you see. Whereas in the studio, right next to the actors, I could tell one actor to speed up just a little bit, and another one perhaps even to slow down. If an actor was too close to Mike, I could push him back gently or move him in.
Got any idea who did it?
Sound effect cues were never missed when I was in the
He
studio.
was dead when they found him. Other fella, Fred Wilmer, a friend of his, got shot up pretty bad.
As a matter of fact, I preferred directing on CBS over the other networks, simply because of the personnel involved.
A sharp rock must have cut into it sometime.
They were far more interested in, all they gave a hoot about was putting on a good show.
Like fancy handwriting.